Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for the Ubisoft Forward post-show for deeper looks at Assassin's Creed Shadows, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Division 2. Presented by Intel, the main PC partner for Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Hello, my name is Thierry Dansereau, Art Director on Assassin's Creed Shadows.
And I'm Charles Benoit, Game Director on Assassin's Creed Shadows. We are here today to share details on our first gameplay walkthrough for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Torii Gates are really iconic in Japanese culture and also very striking visually. So when the players see them, they will know there is something interesting to discover following that path. It can be secrets, it can be loot, targets, everything that fuel your progression.
Fukuyama. At last.
We wanted to showcase one of the many castle towns that the game will have. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, you'll be exploring a dynamic and ever-changing open world, all of which is affected by dynamic seasons and weather system. The wildlife is now more than ever part of the game ecosystem and biomes. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, a lot of the game wildlife will evolve and change colors through seasons, and the player will even see puppies, mostly in the springtime.
Well, you are a friendly beast, are you not?
The goal is to have a more natural behaviors and awareness systems.
Psst. Samurai sir, this way, I beg you.
Such beauty, shadowed by suffering.
You're about to see Yasuke in action. In that sequence, Yasuke is going to find one of his targets.
What is happening here?
We'll have a lot of targets to hunt around Japan, and this zip cam and celebration is used to highlight those moments when you find them.
I told you, keep walking.
Let's see some combat now.
The notion of dynamism was also applied to our props that are, for most of them, breakable.
Yasuke is using a kanabo, so it's a big, massive weapon, slow but very impactful. It's the best weapon to break enemies' armor. It's also a good tactic to remove armor first because it reduces the time to deal with your opponents. You can see the yellow bar under the enemy. It represents the armor, and once it's broken, it's a lot easier to land hits and inflict damage. Attacking and defending charge up your adrenaline meter. Once it's full, you can spend all those resources to push back or knock down or inflict damages, and even put the enemy vulnerable. One of the big combat novelty is the posture system. You can hold your attack and posture at any moment inside a combo. Those attacks inflict massive damage and can also branch into execution. But of course, if you use those attacks, you expose yourself. So the key is to really master the timing and learning enemy behavior. In the end, your competency can give you an edge over your stats.
Persecutor. Greed cannot rule this village.
The players always have two weapons at the same time, so they can freely switch between both of them. You can see here, Yasuke has the classic katana, and he's using one of his unique moves, the sheeted attack. Now you can concentrate on the target. You can see the katana is a lot faster and versatile. Looking at the target, you see he's a lot more reactive and defensive. If you're taking the posture like right now, he's also using one of his posture against you. So it creates really this dance between the two fighters. The enemy reactivity really pushed the player to use all his tools, so the parry, you need to react, you need to read the enemy to find the best opening and land the posture attacks when it's best. Yasuke and Aoi have their own personal story and their own life. But once they allied, they cooperate to achieve the common objective.
Too slow.
It means you can also switch at any moment in the open world. Of course, not during the infiltration or when you're fighting, but otherwise the players can really choose the character they want at any time and choose how they want to play them.
We should go.
Not before we send our allies to look for him.
In this sequence, Yasuke is suggesting to use the Spy Network. It's a new system that we introduced in Assassin's Creed Shadow to support the Shinobi fantasy and help the player to find their objective. So you can send your spy to scout areas and spot your targets or the quest objective you have. Sometimes we have both characters in the cutscene where you can pick the one who answer or ask questions. At the end, you can also pick the character you want to continue with. You can choose between Naoe being more stealth-oriented or Yasuke being a bit more focused on fight.
But be careful in there.
Don't worry. I won't be alone. It'll be me and the shadows.
From this point, we are with Naoe inside the Fukujiyama Castle. Feudal Japanese castles are amazing playgrounds as they offer a lot of opportunity to play in them in a stealth way or rather in a fight-oriented.
In the following sequence, you can see what's new in terms of parkour and stealth. First, our grappling hook. It's fully physics-based, so your speed and direction can affect where you go. You can also assassinate from the grappling hook, as you can see now. We brought back the cover system to sneak and peek, so you can use your tool from there. You can also observe your surrounding. You can now use prone and crawl in tall grass, so you can hide, you can go under small openings, so it's really useful to sneak around.
You're mine now, Snake.
But one of the big novelties is the dynamic perception of the enemies. They are affected by light and shadow. So here you can see Naoe can break the light and able to vanish and reduce the detection time, so it's a lot easier to quickly move undetected. The weapons of Naoe are great for combat, but also for stealth. Each weapon has a specific type of assassination. Like here with the Kusarigama, you can also assassinate your enemy, but at range. With Naoe, you'll feel like a shinobi with all the new animation we added to make her a lot more agile and faster when doing parkour and everything she does basically.
Naoe is an agile, self-focused shinobi who will use noise, light and shadows to evade detection as enemies respond to their changing surroundings.
You dig himself a trench.
Naoe is currently making her way to reach her target. She's going through some elite samurai houses, and as she progresses, the player will see and discover other iconic areas of the castle, such as the daimyo quarter.
The grappling hook can be also used to grab enemy, which is very useful to move them quickly and dispose of them in the better spot. It's much more efficient than just carrying dead body, for example.
It's giving the player the option to decide if they want to kill or not.
We have a couple of abilities, we have gear, we have weapons that can bring down enemies until they are wake up by other people. Like you saw with the Kusarigama, the katana also have special assassination. You can stab people through shoji door and stay mostly silent. So depending on the weapon you have equipped, you have a different assassination opportunity.
He's coming. I need to hide.
In interior, there are places to hide, but one of the cool ones is the beam that you can use to grapple on the ceiling. It's really useful to not being spotted, of course, but also wait for an opportunity to assassinate.
Useless. All of you. First, take your time.
Here we saw a sudden weather state change that triggered a thunderstorm.
The noise and the rain and the wind cover your footstep and also your action. The demo is in spring, but in winter the old pan will be frozen, so you can't use the same tactic. You will have to use prone in deep snow or use the kunai to deal with the target at distance. Another cool shinobi trick you can see is Naoe using the breathing stick. With that you can stay hidden underwater and wait for the perfect opportunity to assassinate or just sneak around. If you're detected, you can choose to escape to return to your stealth loop or go straight in combat. And Naoe is choosing combat with the Kusarigama, a versatile weapon that can use the cycle in one hand and the weighted chain in the other, allowing some range and melee fight depending on your attacks. In this case, the player decided to escape after many guards joined the fight. Even if Naoe can be very deadly, she doesn't have a strong armor like Yasuke, so it's a lot more risky when you fight multiple enemies at the same time. Anyway, in this case, she already achieved her objective. She killed the daimyo, so all is fine. We just saw the infiltration at night with Naoe. You can also imagine the other option of taking Yasuke and breaking through the front door. Day, night, weather, even season can affect the challenges on your path.
Thanks for watching. We hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. Assassin's Creed Shadows will be launching on November 15. We can't wait for you to play it.
Hello everyone, I am John Björling, Associate Narrative Director on Star Wars Outlaws, and I'm here to break down the lore, references, and any other Star Wars details you may have missed in our latest gameplay walkthrough.
Hey, new record!
Kay is a fan of arcade games and has been playing this Raven 6 space shooter for years. You can find it and other games scattered throughout the galaxy. Kay grew up around cantinas and learned from an early age that they're both places to lie low and to find new opportunities. As Kay travels throughout the galaxy, it's always a good idea to head to the local cantina when looking for intel or work. Kowakian Monka lizards can be found everywhere in the Outer Rim, and they're used as pets, thieves, and even food. But few are as privileged as Salacious B. Crumb in Jabba's palace. Many merchants will use protocol droids to handle customers from every corner of the galaxy who don't speak Basic or Huttese. Kay can bypass the droids since she's fluent in Huttese, and she can use this to talk her way out of, or directly into, some tense situations. The Trailblazer is an EML 850 light freighter from the Clone Wars. Its reinforced hull was built to ensure safe transport into any kind of environment. But the high material costs ruined its chances for mass production. The ship is a rare prototype from a bygone era that had a life of its own before ending up in Kay's hands.
Hey, Andy.
Hi, Kay. Akiva space.
Akiva is an Outer Rim planet that the Empire controls via the local government. Normally, the Empire doesn't have a presence there, but like with many other remote worlds, they carry out occasional audits with support from the Imperial military.
This is Kay Bess on board the Trailblazer. I'm coming to help.
Akiva is orbited by an asteroid field made up of the remains of a comet called Kinro. Legend has it that several Jedi banded together and used the Force to tear it apart, but most people think that's just a myth. Traveling in the Outer Rim is dangerous, and spacers, smugglers, and syndicate freighters are all at risk of being attacked by pirates. Most pirates are part of local gangs that operate in a specific sector, and they usually only care if a mark looks valuable or not. Pirate ships, like the Scourge and Junkross, are cheap and expendable. Pirates typically steal whatever they can get their hands on, and they often rely on scare tactics and aggression to get their score. The Pike Syndicate has shipping lanes across the Outer Rim, making their freighters hot targets for pirates and rival syndicates. Due to Kay helping defend this ship, she has improved her reputation with the Pikes and their underboss, Gorak.
Spooling up the hyperdrive.
Growing up in the workers' district of Cantabite, Kay always dreamed of being able to get off-world and travel the galaxy. After taking the Trailblazer and honing her piloting skills, she's finally able to jump across the galaxy in search of the freedom she's always wanted for her and Nyx. Kay is entering the legendary Mos Eisley on Tatooine. But this planet is large with more than one settlement for you to discover. It's been a privilege to recreate iconic locations such as Chalman's Cantina, while also expanding on the world with locations that are completely new.
Room for one more?
Here we see Kay about to engage in a game of Kessel Sabak, which is her favorite card game in the galaxy. To win, Kay will need to keep an eye out for cheaters, or maybe even cheat herself. Tatooine is the home of Jabba the Hutt, and after the Hutt cartel faced the surprising loss of their council, Jabba is at the height of his power in the criminal underworld. Following the destruction of the Death Star, the Empire has increased their presence on Tatooine, but everybody knows it's Jabba's domain. The other syndicates stick to the shadows. K-Speeder is an S57 Cardinal, a multi-terrain speeder bike that's perfect for explorers. This speeder is both reliable and moddable, and Kay can call it from afar using a control module to give her and Nix a chance to rest their feet. Imperial shuttles are a dead giveaway that there's some Imperial activity nearby. Sometimes that might add further risk, but in other cases, it can be a great opportunity for a scoundrel. Some Jawas on Tatooine travel around in sandcrawlers, offering trade deals for whoever happens to be nearby. The sandcrawlers were originally built for mining operations, but were co-opted by the Jawas as a way to hold and transport salvage. These flyhorn lizards can be found all around Tatooine's deserts. The lizards use their tails and horns to catch condensation and smaller insects while keeping cool by hiding in the sand. Some moisture farmers use the lizards as an indication of their yield. The Hutts are present outside the main cities too, and have established compounds all over Tatooine. Depending on your reputation level, you can walk right in or be turned away from Syndicate territory. So your interactions with these locations and the syndicates within will change throughout the game.
Busy place.
Kay and Nix have been thieving together for years, and their incredibly close bond means that they are able to support each other in any situation.
Nix, attack. Good job, buddy. Nix, do you sense anyone close? Sutta.
Kay's using a well-worn VM-19 heavy blaster with a unique ability to switch modules. Here, we see Kay use the stun mode to take out this guard instantly and quietly.
Easy. Alright, let's see what we have here.
This is Kay's data spike, which she can use for picking locks. When not in use, she conceals it by wearing it as a hairpin.
Wait, Quint? That sheriff from Wayfar used to work for the Hutts? I should talk to her.
Oh, come on!
These enforcer droids are widely used by syndicates as cheap and expendable firepower. They are very dangerous, but Kay can use her blaster's ion module to disrupt them, as we see here. You may recognize these as massives, a native Tatooine predator with thick armored hides, sharp spines, and a dangerous bite. They were first domesticated by the Tusken, but even the Hutt cartel beastmasters used them to guard their territory.
We need a quick exit!
And here we see the iconic Gamorreans that were hired by Jabba himself as his most reliable guards. They are incredibly powerful and dangerous, particularly at close range. Here we see Kay switching to her power module to try and take them out before fleeing. Tatooine will feature its iconic twin suns, and you'll be able to witness some beautiful sunrises and sunsets on your journey across the desert planet.
Here we are.
Next to the sheriff's office, we see some banthas, which are typically domesticated herd animals used for their milk, meat, leather, and transport. Banthas are omnivores and can sustain energy without food or water for long stretches of time. We see Kay arriving at Wayfar Station, where moisture farmers come to sell water, socialize, and buy equipment. Tatooine is known to be filled with outlaws preying on these farmers, which is why we see a stacked bounty board on the wall to the sheriff's office. Eagle-eyed viewers may even spot Kay's picture on the board.
You again.
Sheriff Quint is a Weequay and former pirate who had a lot of success due to her gunslinger skills. She eventually turned away from her old lifestyle and towards the law, using her skills to help the people of Wayfar. Quint is one of the experts in our game, so Kay can agree to help her out, and in exchange, Quint will help Kay develop her skills with the blaster.
You want to die first? Fine by me.
This is another look at Tushara, the new Savannah moon created in collaboration between Massive Entertainment and Lucasfilm Games. The strong winds on the moon wear down the naturally occurring amberine. This can create ramps for Kay and Nyx to take advantage of on the speeder. Here we get another glimpse of the lush, dense jungle planet of Akiva, which has been fully realized visually for the first time. Akiva has a very interesting history, and that's something we were excited to explore with Kay and Nyx. Kay grew up brawling in cantinas and sneaking around as a thief, so she can hold her own in combat. We even see her take down a death trooper with an electroshock prod. And here, we see a range of alien species being brought together by Sabak. This includes a Galushan, a Zabrak, and Trandoshan. You'll encounter a range of different species scattered across the Outer Rim. Kay and Nyx are betting on a Fadir race, being broadcast live from her hometown of Cantobite. Nyx loves following the race on the holoprojector. These are Aglis flyers, native to Tushara. They have a habit of stealing anything they can get their hands on, hoarding the items in remote nests. The Tusharans use wind fishing nets to capture them for their meat. In addition to Kay's blaster, she'll learn to use some other weapons when she needs some additional firepower, such as this Imperial Z6 rotary blaster cannon. And finally, here we see a Rancor, a reptilian species that originally hailed from the planet Dathomir. As fans will know, Rancors are extremely dangerous, so they present quite a threat to someone like Kay. And that's some of the things that you may have missed in our latest gameplay walkthrough. The team is hard at work crafting this galactic scoundrel adventure, and we're excited for players to experience the Outer Rim as Kay and her companion Nyx on August 30th. If you're willing to take the risk, the galaxy is full of opportunity.
As we're wrapping up year 5, we want to thank you for your continuous support. During this year, we brought you Project Resolve, a revamp of Project Rewards, a significant boost to global events replayability, various PvP improvements, a major gear balancing pass, as well as almost 2,000 bug fixes.
These major changes laid the foundation for exciting updates coming with year 6 and even more thrilling developments ahead. We are just getting started.
Year 6 is a year of transformation as we prepare the game for even more content.
In Year 6, the Division 2 will feature 3 seasons. Each of them will bring fundamental changes to the endgame and our seasonal model, enhancing the game's accessibility and engagement to new heights.
The first season, titled First Rogue, is set to begin on June 11th.
Keener is alive.
Come find me.
Keener is alive and has come to Washington, D.C. to meet with us. However, as is always the case with Keener, the road to finding him is paved with dangers, and his true intentions remain unclear.
What do you believe, Agent?
First important change that we're bringing in Year 6 is one endgame for all agents. All owners of Tom Clancy's The Division 2 can now level up their characters to level 40 without needing to own Warlords of New York and enjoy the seasonal experience.
That means that all Division 2 players can continue leveling up in Washington, D.C., and once they reach level 40, they will gain access to all past and future endgame content, including exclusive weapons and gear, seasonal manhunt and events, endgame modes like the Summit, Countdown, and Paradise Lost Incursion.
We need the Division.
To expedite players' access to the endgame, we're introducing a new progression system to offer you more ways to advance and customize your gameplay experience. Seasons 2.0.
With Seasons 2.0, we'll bring a fresh twist to the experience, seasonal characters. By creating a season-specific character, you'll be able to experiment with new builds, modifiers and mechanics affecting both agents and enemies, getting a unique experience every season.
We streamlined the progression to ensure a rewarding journey both for new players and veterans, without requiring extensive playtime to reach level 40.
Expect weekly updates filled with fresh activities, improved progression, and rebalanced XP gain, all within an immersive narrative that unfolds through Year 6. At the end of each season, all your hard-earned XP and rewards will merge with your main characters, and your seasonal characters will be added to your existing roster, expanding your options and strategies.
Year 6 also transforms the manhunts as we know them, bringing a new gameplay experience.
Say goodbye to targets and lieutenants as we introduce weekly scouts, allowing for a better paced story progression.
Each scout will be a project consisting of a few engagement activities for you to complete.
Scouts will be available to seasonal characters only and built to complement your overall progression in the season.
That's not all. Prepare for a new difficulty level available for climax missions only. Master.
Master difficulty will offer an epic conclusion to each season, providing challenging and thrilling gameplay experiences designed for 4 players. Later in the year, we're excited to bring you an improved player customization experience. Look forward to improvements and new functionalities that will let you celebrate your characters and achievements in more dynamic and personalized ways.
Year 6 will culminate in the new story DLC, which will return players to the place where it all began, Brooklyn, New York.
Join the Division in the upcoming season and watch the story unfold. We can't wait for you to see what's next.